I'm here at the TA in Ontario, California, and I got here last night. I got all my stops finished yesterday in the LA area. Had started out in well, right here in Ontario, and then Long Beach. I think I had a couple of them in Long Beach area, and then over in Ventura, California. So it took me, I think it's 80, 90 miles, something like, no, I don't know what that's about. I think it was, I had to look, but it's somewhere 80, 100 miles, something like that, from Ventura over here to Ontario. It took me 4 hours, but I wanted to wait out the traffic, but I couldn't. It was so busy when I got here last night. I got here about 6 o'clock. It was backed up on the street where I couldn't even get in here, and I had to squeeze in one little spot. I'll show you where I'm at now. I moved in the parking lot because this place is a madhouse. This is basically the only parking in this side of LA. I think there's a little bit in West LA, but this is about it, and it's paid parking. It's $20 a day, or you have to spend $20, buy something for $20 in the store. So that's okay. I mean, whatever. I need some stuff anyway. So I got a load booked for tomorrow morning. It's actually right across the road. That's why I booked that one. It's not my best paying whenever I ever brought home, but it's a light load that I like. About 17 or 18,000 pounds, I think. It's tires that's going right back to Indianapolis. So today I'll be able to get my 34-hour break in by like 4 o'clock in the morning. I think my break will be up. Where I'm picking up is only 1.5 miles from here. It's basically I get on 10, go one exit, and it's right there. And I'm already on northeast part of LA where I can just get on 15 and I'll be out of here. So that's good. So those things are why I took this load. I might have been, the stuff, freight's kind of dried up out here. So I'm going to really have to make sure I get my money coming out here. It was really, really easy first month or so, 6 weeks, and it's kind of, I can see the volume of freight going back, right back home is shrinking. So who knows? I mean, that stuff goes up and down. Maybe it was holiday, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I'm still making good money. It's just not as good as what I was doing, and it's a little harder. You got to work for it a little more. That's okay. But I'm gonna today, since I really don't have that much to do, got some things caught up in here. I think I'll show you a little bit of my engine. It's the DD15, what it's about, something I got planned for it. And something I thought about is every time I'm home, I want to try to make my equipment a little more efficient. So I'll just kind of talk about some plans with that, show you what I've already done, and things to come. So here we go. Okay, this right here is what I did last weekend. I bought these aero flaps from Joplin Petro. So it's just something, it's for fuel efficiency, rain spray. Instead of the air crashing into it, it's going through it. And I 45 the edges of these. Now I read a study where they say at if you drive 100,000 miles, this was back when fuel was $2 a gallon, 100,000 miles at $2 a gallon, this will save you $200 a year. Now I don't know if that's for one, I'm guessing for both. See, I did both of them. So that's at $2 a gallon. Right now we're north of $3 a gallon. So I'm just trying to chip away at it a little. Another thing I'm going to do is my trailer plate. As you can see, it's hanging down in here just for all the air to crash into it. So what I'm going to do is move it from here to right here. This is what I did with my last trailer, and I just mounted it right here, and I'm going to use that existing light, make a steel bracket the same as this to protect it, and then mount the light under it. There's another little thing. Okay, now we're here at the truck. As you can see from the factory, they do this. They 45 it. Now, these are the mud flaps that came on this truck. And so what I did was, they're made for duals. So what I did is a super single 17 inches wide, so I cut it down on both sides where you don't have any hanging on the edge of the tire. See, it's right to the edge of it and the wind's not crashing into it. I also, it's not as good as the aero flaps, but I did cut a bunch of slits in it. I don't know if that helped at all, probably didn't. That may be what I'm going to buy with my, I did it to the other one too. That may be what I'm going to buy with, you know, I got to spend some money, so I think I may buy a couple more of these and use the real ones. Okay, next is my side skirts. You can see they stop right here. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to move my center light right there, and I'm going to push everything right out here to the edge, and then I'm going to extend them. I'm going to have to buy some, there's a company I'm looking at. I'm going to extend these all the way right up in here where you got the shortest gap between the truck and the trailer, when all that air can just flow right down the edge. And then also, you see this guy's got super singles next to me, and that's what I want to do. Wonder if he'd trade me. Ha! Ha! Anyway, that's eventually what I want to do with this trailer. Now this one looks like he's got it dropped, so he probably won't care if I look at it. Bear with me. I don't see it. Don't see it. Oh, there they are. See, I don't want these. That says 2-inch offset this side out. I see what I've got on my truck are zeros, and I don't see them. There they are. Or it's got a 1/2 inch, I guess. I thought they were zeros. And maybe you can see that. It says 0.5 inches this side out. So you see how far his are stuck out. See how far I'm underneath my trailer. Oh, there's another. He's got a different kind of aero flap, but you see they haven't been cut down, and they're quite a bit hanging over the edge of the tire. Oh, but whenever I get my zero offset wheels and I want to put super singles on this one, what I'm going to do is have this skirt come back here, and see these will be sucked in probably about right here. The edge of the tire will be inside this, so I can run this skirt. I can run this skirt right past it, and I want to have it follow the contour of this wheel where that air is just shooting right off the end of it. Okay, there's basically there's a whole bunch of stuff on my mind. There always is. That's what I that's what I absolutely love about running my own business is your mind is just constantly working. At least mine is. I love driving, working on this stuff, thinking about how to improve things. I'm just into it. So yeah, I do. I just love everything about trucking. And you can't get 5 words out of me usually, unless it's something to do with a cow or a semi. I'm sorry, that's just who I am. Okay, the 2 things that I want to buy is an air filter called a Fleet air filter. What it is, it's a washable, reusable air filter that it's kind of like a K&N air filter, that it's got a oil soaked wrap that goes around it, and that's what this one is. It uses an oil. You change it every 25,000 miles. You pull it out, you wash the outside wrap, you re-oil it and put it back in there, so you'll never have to buy another one. The other thing that will kind of go along with that is it's made by OPS. It's called an EcoPure. It's an oil bypass system. my Kenworth I had before this had the same thing. It's a 10-inch spin-on filter with an oil sampling port. So that's why I said I wanted to run full synthetic in this engine. So what you do every 25,000 miles, you change that filter. Well, at full operating temperature, like I say, it's got a little petcock or whatever, a sampling valve. It comes with UPS mailers. It comes in you get bottles look like about the size of an aspirin bottle. At full operating temp, of course, you open that up, fill that bottle. Comes with UPS mailers, and the place is it's called Polaris Labs. It's in Indianapolis. You UPS that to them. It goes to their lab. They check your oil. They check for your viscosity. They check for wear metals. They check for all kinds of stuff. So if you have a coolant leak, if you have a bearing that's going bad, it's like basically taking it's like getting a person getting a blood test. So you just leave your oil in there until they tell you it's bad. And I know a lot of people, it's about like super singles people. A lot of people they say no, that shouldn't be. But who's to say if your oil's good or bad when you drain it? You know? This, you'll know exactly when it's bad. It tells you the base. When your base, oxidation, everything about oil. There's oils are a lot better than what they were a long time ago. Oil has came a long way. So I'm going to do an A and a B service. So at 25,000 miles, I'm going to take my sample, spin that filter off, put a new one on, wash my filter that's my air filter, clean that, re-oil it, and then at the next 25,000 miles, that's when these full flows will be at 50. Then that time I'll change everything. So I'll have an A and a B service. I do all my stuff in my driveway. I'm blessed to have at least a place where I can park my truck at home, do my service. Yeah, I don't have, one of these days at least I'll have a concrete slab to work on, but I can do all my own, I can do everything to my stuff except major service. But brakes, tires, anything that's external on the truck, I can do right there in my driveway. So that's that's another thing that will pay for itself in no time flat. Plus, it's 10 gallons of oil that I don't have to keep on getting rid of. I've still got used oil that they're probably gonna throw it in my casket when I die. I've got so much used oil. I'm coated fence posts with it, burned it. I don't even know what to do with it. Anybody needs any used oil, I'll give it to you for free. But yeah, so I'm just slowly chipping away at stuff. You don't want to spend a fortune trying to save a little. Fuel is $3. If fuel is $5, yeah, just every little thing. But like the one thing's not going to do much. You chip away at it, and so you'll get a little bit from those mud flaps. You'll get a little bit from moving that license plate. Did I tell you how much that license plate would save? And I'm not thinking of this stuff. This is other people. This is stuff that I've read or listened to. I didn't dream up any of this. Moving that license plate, they say, will save a half a gallon of fuel a day. So you think, well, half a gallon of fuel a day. Half a gallon of fuel a day adds up over a course of a year, especially running between 100 and 125,000 miles a year, which is probably what I'll do. Half a gallon a day will really add up just moving a license plate out of the Airstream. So one thing by itself, you'll never be able to notice. I want to put, oh gosh, what's the other thing? I'd like to put a trailer tail on the back of the trailer. There's just all kinds of stuff. I talked to a big fleet that is totally focused on fuel economy. That's where I was going to buy a truck before I bought this one. I couldn't get the money together in time when they sold them all. It's called Nussbaum, They're in Bloomington, Illinois, and I really talked a lot with their fleet manager that day. He probably wanted to go kill himself after he talked to me. I asked him so many questions. But they do the trailer tail. They do the flow below. It's hubcaps hubcaps for your truck, and it's a piece that goes between your drive tires, and then there's a diverter on the back of it. And that's why I say I wanted to move that skirt up, so everything's just whoosh, all that air is just right down it. And he said skirts, they picked up a half mile a gallon, and tail, they picked up a half mile a gallon. But if you do them both together, they save 8/10. Almost a mile a gallon with those two things. A mile a gallon is huge. And so yeah, it's just a work in progress. One thing doesn't do anything by itself, but if you do 10 things, you're talking about serious money. And it's easy stuff that you wouldn't think of, and I wouldn't think of it either. I've just tried to listen to what people say, and that Nussbaum, they moved their license plates out of the way. It was basically an evolution like this one is. That's full skirting on the truck. I think it's 24-inch fairings on the back of the cab. I've got the trailer sucked in as tight as I can get it, where all that air, you're just trying to go through the air as slick as can be. So now that everybody's ready to jump off a bridge after hearing me after listening to me talk about things, but I'm telling you, that's what I'm into. That's what, I don't know why I'm not into chrome. I don't know. I sit there and think, I was like, yeah, I could do this and this and this. And then when you get to the fuel pump and you figure up your mileage, like, yeah, it worked. I just think that's fun. And the easier it is for this thing to push through the air, the longer it's going to last. I'm telling you. So, appreciate you watching, and we'll get you some vids on the way home. Put it on you later.